"Send me $3,000 for prom," my sister texted. I replied, "Work for it like I did." Minutes later, my parents messaged, "Either pay up or you're out of this family." I didn't argue. I just whispered, "Cancel everything." That night, I stopped every transfer. By morning, her dress was on hold, her ride canceled, and my phone flashed with 53 missed calls. Either pay up or you're out of this family. Dad's voice hit harder than the words themselves, the kind of tone that doesn't rise in volume. It just sharpens until it cuts through everything. Mom stood behind him, arms crossed tight, the same gold bracelet I'd bought her for her birthday glinting under the kitchen light. My sister, Lila, sat on the couch, half smiling, half scrolling, like none of this mattered. All this started with a simple text. She'd written, "Send me $3,000 for prom." I'd replied, "Work for it like I did." That was enough to start a war. Dad slammed his mug down, coffee splashing across the table. "We're not asking for your approval, William. We're asking for help. Family helps family." "Funny," I said quietly. "You only say that when you need something." Mom gasped like I'd cursed. "Watch your tone." I didn't. I just looked at my sister. "Prom's one night, Lila. Maybe you'll appreciate it more if you earn it." Her eyes rolled like I was dirt under her heel. "You think you're better because you make money now? Please, you wouldn't even have that job if Dad didn't drive you everywhere your first year." I smiled slightly. "And I paid his car off the same year." That shut her up for 2 seconds. Then Dad said it again, slower this time, the same threat I'd heard my whole life. "Either pay up or you're out." I didn't argue, didn't raise my voice. I just whispered, "Cancel everything," and walked out. For the first time, I didn't feel guilt. I felt air. My name's William Kane, 26, born into a house that smiled in pictures but fought in whispers. I grew up learning that silence keeps you safe, until you realize it also makes you invisible. I've always been the quiet one, the one who understands, who won't make a scene. But silence has a price. Mine was 10 years of paying their bills, fixing their messes, and pretending it was love. Every month I sent money to keep the lights on. Every year I was told I owed them more because they'd raised me. Now I make good money, a software job downtown, small apartment, quiet life, but they still see me as a wallet with legs. I didn't stop helping because I stopped caring. I stopped because I finally realized I was funding the people who broke me. That night, after the fight, I sat in my car outside their house, the windows fogged. My hands shook, not from anger, but from finally letting go. I looked back once, light still glowing in the windows. They didn't know yet. By morning, every auto transfer, every linked card, every account, gone. And in that moment, I wasn't cruel. I was free. Dad, Frank Kane, 52, a man who used pride as a weapon. He never hit, never yelled too long, but his silence could drown you. He wanted control more than peace. Mom, Mara, 49, soft voice, sharp edges. She used guilt like art. "I carried you 9 months, she'd whisper. "And this is how you repay me?" She could cry on cue, then hang up mid-tier once she got what she wanted. Lila, 19. The baby, the princess, the only one who got affection without earning it. She lived off my paychecks without knowing where they came from. Whenever she wanted something, the house went to war until I gave in. That night, I overheard them again. Through the thin wall between my old room and the kitchen, Mom whispered, "He's being dramatic. He'll send the money tomorrow." Dad replied, "He always caves. Just give him a guilt call." Lila laughed. "If not, I'll text Grandma. She'll wire it." I almost smiled. Grandma's account had been under my name for 2 years, after she asked me to manage it when she got sick, and she'd told me something they never knew. "That trust fund your granddad left, it's only yours, William. Don't let anyone twist that." Now it all made sense. Why they were suddenly desperate. This wasn't about a prom dress. This was about the money Grandpa left me. 2 days later, Dad called. His voice was calmer now. The calm before manipulation. "Son, I think we need to talk about the trust," he said. "What about it?" "You know your mother's been under stress. The mortgage, the car. You thought I wouldn't notice withdrawals with my forged signature?"
Silence. He didn't deny it. He just exhaled. "You're overreacting." That's when the air left my lungs. Years of suspicion turned into confirmation. They'd been taking from it, quietly, and I'd let them, because family. But now, they'd gone too far, and deep down, they knew I knew.
Mom called a family meeting. I went. Not to fix anything, just to listen. They were waiting in the living room like it was an intervention. Lila was half-dressed for a party. Dad had a folder of papers ready. Mom sat in her calm mode, lips tight, fake smile. "William," she began, "we need to settle this misunderstanding." Dad slid the folder toward me. "Your grandfather's trust wasn't meant to create division. We all contributed to this family. We deserve a share." I glanced at the paper. Fake signatures, forged approvals, my name twisted into lies. "You've already taken your share," I said quietly. Lila scoffed. "Oh, please. You think you're some hero because you finally stood up for yourself?" "Not a hero," I said. "Just done." She rolled her eyes. "Whatever. You've always been dramatic." Dad slammed the folder. "Don't talk to your sister that way." I looked at him, calm, unflinching. "You're defending the person who spent what wasn't hers." The air changed. Mom whispered, "We're family, William. Don't destroy that over money." "Money didn't destroy it," I said. "Lies did." And then I smiled. Small, cold, quiet. That smile scared them more than shouting ever could. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing flashes of my past, the version of me who tried too hard. I was 19 when Dad lost his job. We had bills stacking on the table, Mom crying quietly while pretending everything was fine. I dropped out of college, worked double shifts at a gas station. They told everyone I needed a break from studying. But that break lasted 3 years. Every dollar I made went home. Lila's braces, Mom's medicine, Dad's beer. The one time I asked to keep $50 for a new pair of shoes, Dad said, "Real men don't whine about comfort." That night, I ate dinner alone in the garage. The sound of their laughter floated down the hallway, muffled but real. That's when I learned the cost of loyalty. And tonight, that same ache returned. But sharper, colder, not sadness, recognition. The next morning, I got a call from the family lawyer. "William," he said, "I need to confirm. Did you authorize new account transfers from your grandfather's trust?" My pulse slowed. "No." "Why?" He hesitated. "Because someone did, using your name. I didn't even have to ask who. Mom." When I confronted her, she cried instantly, like a reflex. "You don't understand," she said. "We needed it. Your father lost hours at work. The bills, you forged my name." "It's still family money." "No," I said. "It was mine, and Grandpa made it that way because he knew what you'd do." Dad entered halfway through. "Stop talking to her like that. She's your mother." "She's also the reason a crime report's been filed." He froze. "You wouldn't." I looked him dead in the eye. I already did. The house felt smaller, heavier, the smell of coffee, the sound of rain outside, all familiar yet foreign now. Mom cried harder. Lila started shouting. Dad just stared, like he didn't recognize me anymore. "You think you're better than us now?" he hissed. "No," I said. "Just finally equal." I picked up my coat. They kept calling my name, their voices blurring into noise. "I gave you all my silence," I said softly from the doorway. "Tonight I give you the truth." Mom whispered, "You'll regret this." I shook my head. I already regret staying this long. Then I walked out, for good this time. No goodbyes, no guilt, only rain on my shoulders, washing off years of obligation. 3 days later, their house went dark. Mortgage frozen. Accounts locked. Car repossessed. 53 missed calls. Dad's voicemail, angry. "You've ruined this family." Mom's desperate. "We just need to talk, please." Lila's, quiet for once. "I didn't know it was that bad. I'm sorry." I didn't answer any. I moved into a small apartment on the west side. Creaky floor, peeling paint, cheap coffee smell. But it was mine. No strings. No guilt. I cooked for myself, worked, slept, and woke up to silence. Not the kind that drowns you. The kind that heals. Months passed. Winter turned to spring, Lila texted one night. "I got a job. I'm sorry for what I said before. I didn't know they took from you." I replied, "You didn't have to know. You just had to see." She didn't answer, but she sent a photo, her in a work uniform, smiling tiredly. For the first time, I felt proud of her. Dad sold the house. Mom moved to live with her sister. They don't call anymore. Maybe pride, maybe guilt. Maybe both. Some nights I still think about all the versions of me that kept hoping, that believed family meant love instead of leverage. Now I walk by the river after work. The city lights reflect on the water like quiet apologies. I breathe deep. The cold air doesn't sting anymore. For the first time, I whisper, I don't carry their weight anymore. It's not revenge. It's release. And it feels like living. If you were in William's place, would you forgive them, or would you walk away like he did? Tell me in the comments. Your story matters here. If you felt his silence, hit like, subscribe, and share your truth below. Because sometimes, the quietest people don't seek revenge. They just finally stop paying for love.